Can you please not film me? I'm trying to have a private conversation.
Are you an attorney?
Yes.
Do you know the laws about filming in public? If you want to talk to your client in private, you probably shouldn't do it on a public sidewalk. I could hear everything you were saying.
Okay, I'm just asking if you...
I appreciate you asking, but it's a public sidewalk, sir. Would you like to review the First Amendment? It's 14 words. I could go over it with you.
Thank you anyway.
If you don't want to be photographed, stay home.
You know, and they're just making it, they're just like holding their thumb down on the little man. You know, like, it's not me that you need to worry about. Like, you know, I don't commit crimes. I'm paying for local economy.
This is Susan Bassi, and 2 years ago, along with other First Amendment auditors, I started recording the police and putting my videos up online. I record the police because it helps me show you what's going on inside those courthouses, where police officers, lawyers, and judges not only don't know the law, they think they're above it. Because inside these courthouses, there's a pattern and practice of getting restraining orders, of inciting conflict, and of committing perjury. And yet the people who are doing it are never held accountable, and they are violating public trust in the courthouses and out on the streets. And that trust is going to be something that will be very difficult for us to ever get back.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm coming in to use the court. Are masks still required?
Yeah, how come you're coming here today?
Why are you asking me that? It's the courthouse. I'm coming to the courthouse to do some business.
What kind of business?
Really? I'm going to the court clerk's office.
For the purpose of...
Pulling paperwork. Is that something you ask everybody?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Okay, so you can't use your camera.
I'm aware of that. Thank
Okay,
you.
well,
I'll turn it off.
please.
I am turning it off.
Well, I didn't see it.
I'm outside the courthouse. I'm allowed to use it here.
You can't even film the outside of it.
I can't film it outside the courthouse. Where does it say that? Where's the law?
I'm telling you can't.
Okay. What's your name and badge number?
Sorcy 1547.
I'm sorry?
Sorcy 1547.
Okay, so there's a law that says I can't film.
I'm telling you can't film the
so
courthouse. You're filming the courthouse. I'm telling you you can't do that.
Where's the law that says I can't do that?
I don't have to show you the law. You just can't do it.
Yeah, you do. The news stands out here every day. We're having a newsworthy event. The state is opening back up. You cannot tell me I cannot record outside of this courthouse.
Okay, just turn it off when you go inside.
I will turn it off when I go inside.
Then you can go inside.
But are you misinformed about the law and recording in public?
Turn it off, then you go inside. Turn it off.
As fundamental as our right is to record in public, we all have a right to receive a fair hearing. And that means a right to have police officers testify who know the law and testify truthfully. We also have a right to attorneys telling the truth and not telling stories that serve their financial or political purposes. So after a police officer stationed outside this courthouse told me that I had no right to record in public, I went in, and just as I had learned from the First Amendment auditors, I asked to speak to his supervisor. I then instructed his supervisor to turn on his body cam when he educated that officer. And so there would now be a record of those communications and that conversation, because immediately after I complained, the police officer was removed from his station, and he is no longer telling the public they can't record outside that courthouse.
But apparently, from what the Capitola police told me...
I'm telling you right now, they don't want to be filmed.
I heard you.
So if you can, just be a good person.
Consent from me of any form.
I don't need consent. I'm in public.
You have no consent.
You're an attorney?
I will ask the deputies to come stop
Please
you
do.
from harassing
Please do. Go ask them. They're right there.
Stop harassing people. It's against the law.
You've committed crimes, sir. Hey, Robert. Susan Bassi. Is this your attorney? He's on YouTube.
I expressly do not consent to you
You're in
filming
public,
me. I do
on a
not
sidewalk.
consent to you
You
filming
don't
me.
need to. Did you know that you're pleading about somebody trying to be a court watcher in front of Judge Gurley just made it into an anti-slap today, and that Jeff Rosen's been subpoenaed to testify, and that you're about to be subpoenaed on that as well? Do you remember telling me in that very courthouse that you were alerting Judge Gurley to the fact that there were court watchers watching her? Do you remember that little pleading? Do you? In the case you're in with DJ Faden? Do you remember that?
So
you hit me with your briefcase, by the way.
You're being harassing?
No, I'm not.
I don't agree to that.
You don't need to agree to it. I'm walking on a public sidewalk. there is 3 feet away from us. Do you have something to say about it? Because you're about to be highlighted all over YouTube.
If you're recording me and I find out, I'm going to file a criminal complaint.
I am recording you. I'm telling you right now. I don't have to tell you anything.
You do not have my permission.
I don't need your permission on public property. Did you know that?
I'm hoping to get some help to stop this type of harassment.
You just identified yourself as law enforcement.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you with? Which agency?
It doesn't matter who I'm with.
You just identified yourself as law
No,
enforcement.
it doesn't matter. Why don't you just leave these people alone?
What are you filming?
Whatever I want in public.
For what?
For whatever I want.
Okay.
Is that weird?
What do you want?
Is freedom in America weird to you?
Absolutely not. I love freedom.
Because I don't want to talk to you about anything.
I was a journalist for 25 years. I believe in freedom of speech. I do.
Awesome. Thank
All right.
you.
Have a great day.
Because reporters are liars.
Anything for sexual gratification, or you're not filming young children in their private parts or bikinis?
Does it look like I'm doing that?
No, I didn't say that. You can film out here.
Maybe I'll get a restraining order, but I'm not
That's
talking
great.
anymore.
That's great.
This is David Patent. He's a highly paid divorce attorney, and we've been investigating his cases related to the misuse of private judges and false domestic violence claims. False domestic violence and civil harassment claims are when attorneys tell a story to a judge claiming that somebody feels threatened, harassed, or fearful. The net effect of those cases is that attorneys make a great deal of money, and you must hire an attorney to defend yourself because the case is quasi-criminal. It silences you, meaning prevents you from being able to go to your other spouse to seek settlement, so the attorneys make more money by staying in the middle.
If what I've been told by other Modesto lawyers is that it really screwed me to have a Sacramento lawyer because he wasn't in cahoots with the judge like Betty Julene.
Perhaps the best way to illustrate how attorneys, judges, and police officers are abusing the court process when it comes to civil harassment and domestic violence restraining orders is to show you an incident I recorded in San Jose, California, in a public park, and we're going to compare that to an incident in Los Gatos. Here in San Jose, there would be no lawyers financially gaining and no prosecutor gaining from a political position based on what occurred in this public park involving 3 police officers.
Help me out! I'll go murder a nigger! I said a nigger! 5,000 in penitentiary! All full of San Quentin! So that! The lower! 27 me! I'm gonna kill him, that's gonna hurt me! I'm killing him! I already talked to you. You told me to fuck off. Tell me to just fuck off. Oh, fuck you too, motherfucker. Fuck you. My white nigger. Every hand brother, everybody. Hey, me.
Officer Cervantes, though, you are my favorite San Jose police officer.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because you knew what the state bar was to report dirty attorneys to.
Oh.
I've never met a police officer that knew that before.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember me?
I do. What's your name?
Susan Bassi.
Oh, Susan.
How are ya?
From the law firm call.
Yeah, the law firm call.
Yes, I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. You guys.
We're busy. We're handling the call.
I see that. I won't stay in the way. I'm just trying to show what's going on.
Sure.
A year earlier, another First Amendment auditor and I happened to be walking down the street in Los Gatos, California, when we ran into these 3 police officers involved in an incident where an Apple employee had made a phone call claiming to feel threatened about this man on a public street. We didn't see him making any threats. We didn't see him inciting violence or yelling hate speech, but we did see the 3 police officers use language that we've heard in court before, where they feel that somebody is a threat. They feel that they're going to use their discretion in order to make a business owner very happy.
Are you getting this?
Got it.
Did you film all of this?
Yep.
Did you see how they're threatening me and trying to put me away from doing nothing? How am I a threat? Can you not touch me? Can you not touch me?
Exactly. You don't want this to go this way. Hand behind your back.
That's what I'm saying. How am I a threat? You have to explain to me why you're doing this. Just like the fucking...
Over the past 20 years, property values in California, as well as equity in private businesses, has soared. This has created a huge incentive for private attorneys who have convinced clients that they can get a former spouse or business partner arrested or 5150'd in a manner that will cause them bias and prejudice in a court proceeding. This makes divorce attorneys a lot of money. It creates false wins in what should be courts of equity. It clogs our courts, and it corrupts our criminal justice system, where police officers are known to lie or half-step simply to placate a wealthy business owner or a property owner, or even a divorce attorney who tends to send them a great deal of business and provide them with kickbacks and favors in return.
Do I have to reteach you guys how to handcuff someone? You know, it's going to take less than 5 minutes. Take less than...
I'll wait until we do it again.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Miss Berry, my name is Susan Bassi, and I'd like to talk to you about a divorce case that you handled involving Chris Graves. And Chris Graves told me that you represented his wife, but that you were actually friends with him, and that you ended up kind of fudging the divorce that was not in favor of the wife. Do you have any comment on that? You don't have any comment on that? I've also had other complaints that you're involved in a custody case involving your own grandchild. Is that true? And that you've been asking for favors from James Towery, and that there seems to be an appearance of collusion between divorce attorneys in this area and the judges who preside over the family courts. Is that correct? Ms. Perry, you practice in Morgan Hill, and you were once an elected official, so you must understand public transparency and the need for the public to have a right to know what's going on in our family courts. Do you not? Thank you, Ms. Perry, for your time today.
If you're recording me and I find out, I'm going to file a criminal complaint.
I am recording you. I'm telling you right now. I don't have to tell you anything.
You do not have my permission.
I don't need your permission on public property.
Judge Towery, did you know you just crossed on the light and it was red, and that's against the law? Judge Towery, would you like to talk about that midnight hearing that you set in the courthouse in the Lagresi case? Do you have anything to talk about that? Judge Towery, do you have any comment about those cases where you're doing private judging appointments and judges aren't taking their oath? They learn their lesson.
Just as police officers have had to be educated about the law when it comes to the right to record in public, it appears we're going to have to do some educating of some attorneys who have had the benefit of a 4-year college degree and 3 years in law school, because apparently all of that formal schooling hasn't left them any more knowledgeable about the right to record in public and the right of the public to have transparency when it comes to our police and our courts.